Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
All right, this is our very special once-a-year anniversary episode. And
happy birthday to the podcast.
Happy birthday to the podcast. Celebrating 4 years of podcasting. I can't believe we've been podcasting for so long. Most podcasts fizzle after a few episodes or even after a year, but we've kept it going for quite some time. Through various hosts and various events and Corona and all that nonsense. We are still here, coming to you every week. I don't think we've missed a week. I don't
think we've missed a week either. So for today's episode, we have once again a special guest.
Yes,
we have Bjorn.
After his
hello, his spectacular
loss at Game of Beers.
It wasn't a spectacular loss.
No, it was a razor margin of.
It was a tough blow. I've been down for a week now.
Yeah. Well, it's understandable.
Drinking,
it's
hanging
difficult.
around bars, trying to lick my wounds.
So the usual, just more licking.
Yeah. So no change there.
Yeah.
No. But we also have a special treat. So we were talking about how do we celebrate 4 years of the podcast, and I just threw out the idea that I have some old Brekeriet bottles in my cellar from when Brekeriet were new and young and fresh and
exciting and different and
released big bottles that were semi-difficult to get, and it was basically one beer that we based this tasting on, and then I added more beers.
Yes.
And that's actually, it might be the last beer we're drinking. We'll see.
So is there a beer you want us to try first in this?
I mean,
or does it matter to you?
Beer-wise, it doesn't matter, but the beer that I now put as the last beer for us, that's the one that's from 2016, the same year as the podcast started.
It could be the first beer.
It could be. So we'll switch it up. Bloop. So now the dark red purple beer, which is what?
Nothing.
Woof, that's a very specific aroma. But have we introduced our guest enough? People might not have heard the previous episode.
They might have.
So Bjorn is a Malmo beer expert. Let's call it. He's now been upgraded and runs the video blog Bjorn Guiden.
That's correct.
Yes.
How long have you been doing Bjorn Guide?
I've been doing it for about 3 years now.
Oh wow, that's quite some time.
So we'll be invited to your 3-year anniversary celebration.
Well, yeah, sure.
That's good. So the first beer. So
yes.
Brekeriet Cassis 2016. I remember it must have been like 2015 at the Malmö Beer and Whiskey. There was an early Malmö Beer and Whiskey at Slakthuset. Brekeriet were quite new, I think, and they were they've been around for a while, but they had Cassis as a sample-only thing, and people were lining up, and lining up for a Swedish brewery at a Swedish festival was unheard of at that point. No one did it. Maybe in Stockholm for Närke stouts, but nothing else.
Yeah, but I mean, at this time there weren't really any Swedish breweries doing sour beers.
No.
So they were quite the anomaly 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes. And then this one showed up 2016 at Systembolaget, and it sold out like that instantly. And I got 1 or 2 bottles or something. And then I didn't really touch them. They just stood in my cellar. They were rare for a little while, and then they stopped being rare.
Yeah.
And now is a good time as any to drink them, but I'm looking at Stefan's face and he has smelled it and I don't think he will like it.
I smelled it a few times. I'm trying to get my head wrapped around what it is I'm actually smelling, because I was expecting to smell more of a Cassis aroma, but that is not the words that are coming to mind.
It has a touch of paint thinner.
I was thinking like like sulfur and green bell pepper.
Maybe.
It smells like crayons to me.
Yeah, I
Crayons.
mean, I can see that as well. It's kind of got a weird.
Chalky, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Cheers.
Oh.
Cheers.
I'm thinking of Crayola crayons with the waxy. Yeah.
So this one has not aged that well.
I'd say that's something.
It's definitely something.
Well, the finish is actually kind of like a Lambrusco wine-ish
Yeah.
kind of finish on it.
Oof. The aftertaste is really unpleasant.
I was gonna say the foretaste was actually pretty unpleasant as well. So, wow, that's so dry and so.
A lot of umami also.
Oof. What? What's the best before?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't. It actually doesn't say. There is no best before. Hey, wait a minute. Best before 2016.
Oh, so it's actually we should have been drinking.
When is it from? I have no idea.
But when did it start? Was it 2012 or 14? I don't remember.
Best before 2016. The description on the label describes that this is a beer brewed with Brettanomyces, which is a very special, unique yeast. That blah blah blah. They're basically describing how beer is made, because the Swedish audience was not.
Yeah, I would say no one
used
knew
to
what
this.
Brett beer was in those
No.
days. You know, I can see where you definitely probably thought this was good until 25, because you're expecting to read to 2025, because you're expecting to read the date from the month and it starts with the year, and I'm like, batch number 10.
No, so the mistake I made is when I did cellar inventory, I was looking through a lot of bottles, and many beer makers, they put the brewery date or the bottle date on the bottles. I must have mistook these best before dates for bottled on dates. And that's why I thought they were 2016, 17, 17. They're probably 1 or 2 years earlier.
Okay. Well, I tell you, that Cassis is quite the ride.
It's quite terrible, actually.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you've had the Cassis, the double Cassis that's come out recently that was at Mammal Tap Room.
Those are great.
Those were really good.
In their wild series.
Yeah,
really,
and this is nothing like that.
It does say on the bottle that it will develop for many years.
It is developed, I will tell you that.
It's definitely
they are not
developed.
lying.
Oof.
And it started 2012.
Yeah.
So, Brothers Eek,
Yeah.
as they are called at the bar Meisterstück in Berlin.
They just call them Brothers Eck.
Yeah, the Brothers Eek on the menu. Beer
No, not Brekeriet.
No, Brothers Eek.
So what do we handle next?
Yeah, exactly. We're not even rating this one. It's turned defective.
Yeah, I mean, to rate it would be really unfair.
Yes.
I don't think we should probably rate any of these beers. I don't know that they're going to be.
It's like licking wet socks.
Yeah, you're not incorrect.
So let's see here. They start like this. That one is, and I guess that one is Chene.
Yeah.
A beer that neither of you had before, which was fun for me to dig in my cellar a little bit. Let's see if it says it's a sour ale blend aged in 3 different oak barrels with different wild yeast and lactic acid bacteria strains.
This one still smells pretty good.
It's a little bit hazy, yellowish. It doesn't smell that much, but there is definitely this standard sour, like a standard sour beer.
Yeah.
In the aroma.
All right, cheers.
That's right. Cheers.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, still works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But rich in the mouthfeel.
definite, but a little bit too standard. So when this came out, Very few in the region were doing anything like this. But Sweden has actually caught up. There are many sour beer makers now across the country. And we've gotten an influx of American sours and sours from different, not just Belgium anymore. So we're used to this flavor now.
Yeah, I would say this is very kind of average. I mean, there's nothing that really elevates anyway. It's not bad. It's not horrible. I mean, it's not great. It's not horrible, but it doesn't really excite me in any way whatsoever.
No, and there aren't that many flavors to pick out. A little bit of maybe red berries, like maybe a little bit of red currant in the taste. That kind of
from the kind of tangy nature of the beer.
Yeah, when they're not quite ripe, red currants quickly turn super sweet.
Okay,
like the berries. I was raised in a household that had red currant bushes.
I get more of like the dry apricot.
Yeah, that's might be a much better.
The dry apricot you can get.
It's very dry.
Yeah,
it is super dry in the finish.
But this one is definitely rateable.
Yeah.
Held up well.
And since it doesn't specify any special ingredients, I'm just assuming that it tasted similarly to this.
Yeah, very possible. It's probably mellowed quite a bit, I would think, with time.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've had really old sours that almost didn't mellow at all.
Yeah.
So some of these bacteria can really extend the longevity of a flavor. So do you want to give it a rating?
Sure, we can give it a rating. We'll let you go first.
Somewhere between a 3.75 and a 4. A 4 if it's some kind and really looking for those apricot berry flavors. It should probably get a 3.75, but I'm in a good mood, so this gets a 4. A weak 4.
Bjorn?
I would go for a 4 also. Seeing how good it's actually aged. Also, still a good beer after all these years. So, it's good taste. So, I would do 4 also.
Maybe it would get a lower rating if we didn't have the terrible Cassis before it.
Yeah. I'm actually going to give it a 3.25. I think it's very fine. It's perfectly drinkable, but it's just meh. It's very middle of the road, ho-hum. I mean, I won't remember having this beer in a few days probably. So
probably not. Do we dare taste the last one?
This is what I'm most excited about.
So this is Brekeriet Vanilj or Vanilla with the best before of 2017.
There is still a lot of vanilla on that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The nose. Yes.
Almost like artificial vanilla, kind of like you don't have that here, but that much. But you can buy liquid vanilla in the States quite easily, and it smells a lot like that.
So it's a pale sour ale with ground vanilla beans added to secondary fermentation. So ground vanilla beans, those would not have been filtered out. Those would have gone with the beer into bottles.
Probably.
Like with vanilla beans, that's something you would filter out.
Yeah, there's a lot of vanilla on this. It is kind of crazy. All right, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. Looks really good.
It's kind of weird. There's like
There's
a strong vanilla up front,
Yeah.
and then there's a weird sour beer that doesn't really go with the vanilla, and then the aftertaste is like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you get that vanilla. Oh,
Yeah.
just vanilla, and then and then there's nothing.
Yeah, I agree with everything, but in the end, there's an extra vanilla kick. I'm feeling
There
it
is.
right now.
Yeah. In the end, there's like this weird vanilla, and it kind of goes into the like if you've ever blown up a plastic like raft or something, like a toy that like floats in a pool. You got that polystyrene, or I don't know where that plastic thing is. It kind of tastes like that, like an artificial plasticky kind of flavor.
I drank some water now, and I'm still tasting that vanilla.
Yeah,
This is weird vanilla.
Like I said, it's I think you have a hard time getting that vanilla out of your palate.
So this is a flavor that I remember. I didn't really care for it when it was new, because sour vanilla isn't a flavor combination that I enjoy that much, actually.
I wouldn't think so either. And this must have been like overpoweringly vanilla when it came out originally.
If it's still this much, 3 years after its best before date, it might have been pretty crazy.
Yeah, I would have to guess this was like a real vanilla kick in the teeth, kind of like, whoa, vanilla.
Oof.
I actually looked back at one of my old check-ins for this beer, and my note at that time was that the vanilla flavor was just slight.
Ha.
It was easy, so I don't know.
So it might
Okay.
taste.
And I had it at tap room on tap, so I don't know.
It might actually taste more of vanilla now.
Yeah, I think it might. So
There's definitely a vanilla flavor here.
Have they rebrewed this? I don't remember.
Well, it's in the Wild series also, a vanilla.
So the Wild series is separate.
Yeah, but this I don't know.
Those are kind of remakes of their greatest hits. It's difficult with Brekeriet because they're quite fond of rebrewing old beers, not just through the Wild series, but just remaking the regular ones.
Yeah.
Now in smaller bottles, like the sour and salt.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be a big beer, a big bottle, like staple beer they used to release regularly. Now it's small bottles, but it's better now. I would
It
say.
could be. I mean, like a small bottle just does better, and they plus have gotten better as brewers, over time. And I think what they're doing now is much better than what they were doing 4 years ago. I know they've become one of my go-to breweries, especially since they're putting out so many things that you can find as a Stumblelog, and it's really nice.
But what I'm hearing is we're hoping that this show has aged better than these Brekeriet beers.
Probably not.
Probably not. We've lost all listeners at this point. No, you're loyal listeners. You would never leave us.
I kind of like the vanilla.
It
grows on you. I think if you just keep drinking it, you won't. It's not as bad as you think.
it's a weird one for sure.
Do you want to rate this one as well, or?
I mean, it's kind of a throwing the dice here. I could give it a 3.75.
Okay. Bjorn?
But it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I will land on a 3.5 for this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna also do 3.5. I liked it better than the last one.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, it's unusual. For sure.
Definitely. So what do you think about the latest year of What's on Tap podcast?
I think it's been pretty good. We had the 2 Christmas beer boxes, which was insane and something I hope to never do again.
And the good festival at All In.
All In was great. Wild Ale Beer Festival was wonderful.
Really good.
I had questions about whether or not it would actually become a fire hazard or not, because they were packing people in, and I'm sure that it was not up to code.
So Corona happened.
Yeah, and then Corona happened, and then that was the last beer festival of the year.
So looking back at that festival where you were touching 3 people at all times.
Oh yeah,
because of the crowdedness.
As they would say,
I
elbow
got
to asshole.
after that weekend. I remember.
Yeah,
You did.
Yeah.
because it was what, February.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean that's peak flu season basically, and these people, we were just. It looked like, well, I mean, they didn't sell that many tickets. It's not going to be that many people. It's a pretty decent sized space. It was not. It was so freaking crowded in there. We left midway through the Saturday evening because it was just so packed. I just kept thinking, like, man, if there was a fire or some sort of emergency, everyone would die because there wasn't enough exits to get everyone out of there in a proper manner.
Definitely. So the time up to that was quite good for What's on Tap podcast.
Yes.
Good festivals, good beer boxes, Christmas specials.
We had the All-In, Great Swedish Beer Festival as well.
Right.
Yes. Had some good interviews. So who knows what's going to happen in the next year?
Exactly.
Hopefully there'll be more beer festivals again. Those will come back. Won't be a thing of the past.
Because since Corona, we've had a lot of episodes where we're just sitting in an apartment, a few meters apart, drinking 2 beers, and not asking, "Hey, what's on tap?" to anyone, which is a shame.
But we tried to. We've been out for a few times this summer and gone to a few bars, and that was really nice.
Exactly. We've done our best.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with future beer festival culture. It might change.
It very well will, I'm sure. But if nothing else, I mean, we could always venture out into the countrysides and find the brewers and interview them, and I'm sure that would be quite a lot of fun as well.
It is. I can.
Yeah.
Because you actually do it. We just talk about doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, we love Remmerlöv. We should go out to Remmerlöv, and then we never do.
I know. We totally should.
Because we are the worst people ever.
So horrible. So any ambitions for next year?
Corona needs to go away.
Yeah.
And then we need to do more, hey, what's on tap? Episodes where we actually go somewhere.
Yeah.
Even though we started to step it up, we need to step it up more. That's the ambition.
Well, there has been more places recently to go to, because I felt like we kind of hit that first round of your beer establishments, and then hit them again in the first year, and then it was like, well, now we need to find new places, and then it's like, well, we should go over to Copenhagen and do some places over there as well.
Close.
Yeah.
We have branched out to Helsingborg. We've been there more than before.
We went once.
Yeah, and we recorded 3 episodes, one of which was
corrupted. Yeah, so we have to go back, and then we should also try to go to other places. I don't know where else in Skåne is worth going to. Höganäs, I guess.
Höganäs? Maybe.
Well, they've got that one burger place there that's supposed to be really good.
Is that Garage?
Garage,
Or is it Holy Smoke?
Well, Holy Smoke is more on the countryside. But there's a garage and Höganäs is supposed to be really nice. Have good selection of beers. Otherwise I don't know. It's
right across from the Höganäs brewery.
Nice.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
So,
but Bjorn, you've been more to Gothenburg with your
I could really recommend you to go to Gothenburg and do a few episodes there, because even though Malmö is a great beer city, but we are still a bit behind Gothenburg, I think.
Well, there's more breweries up there, and they seem to be really investing in opening bars.
Yeah.
Whereas the breweries here don't really seem to be that interested in going down that path.
No, I think it will be more of that in a few years to come. But Gothenburg is sort of leading the way right now in that department. You have a lot of breweries opening up. I don't know, Sad Robot, Odd Island. There are a lot of them.
Yeah.
Does Sad Robot have their own brew pub?
I can swear, but I think I think so. Cool. There are a lot of new small tap rooms opening up. I still haven't visited a lot of them, so I was planning to this year, but then Corona. So I haven't been to Gothenburg for ages.
And Gothenburg really is an easy train ride up the coast. It's 3 hours. And
2.5 if you go by SE. So.
And you can drink beers on the train.
You can.
Nice.
Have many times.
Yes. So that's pretty much it. We need to. It must not take another year for us to have a game of beers.
No, I think we can do it more often. We just gotta find willing individuals to play.
Yes.
I will definitely want a rematch.
We can definitely arrange that.
Oh, but maybe next time I would be the host, and I'll pit you against Stefan.
Oh, yeah, bring it on.
You don't want to defend your title?
No, I've won once. So, I'm good for the rest of my life.
You're retired now, so I see how it is.
Hanging up the belt.
No. I will defend this title with the Timmermans Creek still clear in my mind. That one will never leave me, no matter how much time passes.
All right, well, it's been a good 4 years, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 years and beyond.
Especially if you, our listeners, stick with us.
Yes.
That's the most important part.
Oh, for sure. So
Yes.
be sure to tell people, spread the word. Hopefully more and more people will find us and listen, and then we can quit our jobs and just do this full time.
Yes, you should make big signs and go out on the street and protest why we aren't state-sponsored media.
Oh, that would be awesome. I wonder what you have to apply to do that.
No, we don't want to be state-sponsored media. We're the plucky underdogs.
Oh, are we? All right.
We tell the truth.
I don't know. I'd prefer to be state sponsored. All right, Martin. Thanks for the last couple of years. I'm looking forward to going forward.
Yeah, we'll keep doing this.
And Bjorn, thanks for joining again
Thank you
and
for
celebrating
having
our anniversary with us. So we should have some cake or something as well. But oh well,
We have this Cassis beer.
it's like cake, and the vanilla kind of together is really.
Maybe we mix them up.
Ooh, a cuvee of Brekeriet beers from 4 years ago.
What a terrible suggestion. No, it'll probably be better. This Cassis beer has made me really sad. I actually really hope that this Cassis beer... I thought it would have lost some fruit flavor, but that it would still be a really good beer. Because I remember it as a really good beer from way back.
It's not.
They're mixing and matching and shaking their heads.
No,
It's a bust.
The vanilla can't save the Cassis.
Nothing
Sorry.
can save the Cassis.
Oh my god, that was horrible.
Sorry, Fredrik. Sorry, Andre. Sorry, Christian. For brother's sake.
We love all the beers that are released now, but
Yeah.
this old Cassis is past
In
its
its
prime.
prime, it would have been wonderful.
Yes.
Where can we find us online?
Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, iTunes, whatsontappodcast.com, maybe Amazon, and probably forgot something now.
YouTube?
I don't know if I said YouTube,
don't
and
think
I
you did.
know we're not on Twitter.
We are definitely not on Twitter.
No,
Because Twitter's bullshit.
Twitter is a cesspool.
I'm on Twitter.
You know, I used to be. I have a Twitter account,
Yeah, I do, but I'm so very rarely there. No.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't-
Especially as Bjorn Guiden.
I don't post on it anymore. But I've had an account since like it first started, and I've got not hundreds, but tens of thousands of tweets on there. So it's probably something that if I ever became famous, I should go back and delete. Because there's no telling what I said 7-8 years ago before I moved to Sweden.
Woof.
Yeah, I probably would have been not politically correct for these terms. At one point, I was like the number 3 tweeter in Sweden before Sweden discovered what Twitter was and really got on board with it. And then that slowly dropped as like H&M and the other fashion brands got on board, and then I was like, oh well, that was fun. All right, guys. Until next time.
Keep drinking, you dum-dums.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.